But different strokes for different folks. Speaking of things that I didn't really care for that you really enjoyed,
Yeah.
Landman season 2.
Yes. Yes. The second season of Landman, which I finally got around to watching. It Paramount Plus drops is one of those weekly drop shows, so I just waited until the whole season dropped before getting into it. Um, so this is one of the many Taylor Sheridan shows that are keeping Paramount Plus alive. Um, I'll give like a kind of like a brief recap of season one before getting into season two. So uh, for those of you who are wondering, DB and I actually reviewed the first 3 episodes from season one, which uh, DB almost rage quit the show when Billy Bob cut off part of his finger.
Yeah, it was a rough go.
Yeah, yeah. But so this season, or so season one, after that, uh, Billy Bob Thornton, of course, Billy Bob Thornton plays Tommy Norris, who is a landman for a multi-billion-dollar oil company called MTEX. And his son Cooper, who dropped out of college at Texas Tech to go work for the company. There was an accident, and the 3 guys that were on his oil rig crew all died. And one of the guys that died was had a wife and a baby. And long story short, Cooper ends up getting romantically involved with the woman, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna. He wants to take care of her and take care of the baby, and so he basically starts his own oil company and goes off and he sets up all these different oil rigs for drilling. Then you also had so the company was owned and run by his name was Monty. I can't remember what his last name was. Lonnie Miller, who was played by John Hamm. So, spoiler if you didn't watch season one, Monty has a heart attack and ends up dying from it. And as a result, his wife, Cammy, who is played by Demi Moore, she takes over ownership of the company, and Billy Bob, Tommy, becomes the president of the company. So basically, Cammy owns the company, and Tommy is running it. And the other thing too is Tommy has an ex-wife named Angela, and he and his ex-wife end up getting back together, even though they have a very strange, bizarre relationship. And then also they also have a daughter, very what's the good word for her? Very outgoing.
Liberated?
What was that?
I said liberated.
Liberated. Yes, that's a good. Yeah, liberated. Yes, a very liberated daughter, Ainsley, who's gone to live with them in out there in Midland, and so at the end of the season, John Hamm's, he has a heart attack and he ends up dying, and Tommy actually gets. So at the beginning of the season, he has this whole really tense negotiation with the drug cartel. Then at the end of the season, that same cartel is looking to end him, but they get stopped by the head of the cartel, who is, and he's played by Andy Garcia, Jalino, and so okay, so that's everything that happened in season one. So season two, Tommy is basically trying to do 2 things at once. He's trying to be a landman out in West Texas while also trying to be a company president, and the company is based in Fort Worth. And so he's basically going back and forth from Midland to Fort Worth, which is about a 3-hour drive, depending on traffic. And so he's dealing with all that, and then his son Cooper actually ends up striking big with his oil company. But the problem is, he formed the company and got all the funding for it and investments and everything. Did it very haphazardly because he's a 22-year-old kid and he has no business sense whatsoever. And he unknowingly becomes a partner with Andy Garcia's character. And so now Andy Garcia is basically completely involved in this, with Tommy, with Billy Bob Thornton's character, his whole life basically. And so you've got that going on, and then the other part of it too is they find out that the company MTEX just doesn't have any money at all. They're basically just Monty was basically borrowing money from different people to try to pay different things off. And hey Arcos, good to see you. And he says, I tried so hard to like Landman. This overhyped characters are characters. The whole thing is more poorly written. Yeah, I definitely get that criticism, Marcos. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I think kind of a big problem with the show, and I'm kind of skid talking a little bit, is the story of the oil, of being with this oil business is really not all that interesting. So you have to create the drama around the characters, and so it does become a soap opera. And it looks like Arcos agrees with you, DB. He doesn't like Taylor Sheridan very much.
Yeah, I just don't vibe with him, and I totally get why people would like it. It's just like I don't know. I tend to like to feel happy when I watch media, which is a feeling that Taylor Sheridan does not share.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. And Arco says she's liberated from functioning brain cells. Yeah, Ainsley is she's the stereotypical dumb blonde cheerleader girl. And in this season, in season 2, she's actually going to start going to TCU, which is in Fort Worth, to be a cheerleader. And it's this whole scene in there where she's in with the admissions counselor. She's like, "You're using a lot of big words I don't know." That's intentional. She's like, well, I was studying abroad. Oh, in Europe? No, in Midland. What precipitated that? It didn't rain the entire time I was there.
I'm reminded of the bit from The Simpsons where Rodney Dangerfield was playing Mr. Burns' son, and he tries to get him into Yale, and said, "How we need a rather large donation to let him in. How large of a donation are we talking? We've always wanted an international airport."
Yeah, I'm not made of airports. Get out. It was a lot like that. But yeah, and then there's more drama with the family. So Billy Bob's father, whose name is also Thomas, although he goes by TL, and he's played by Sam Elliott. And he's out in at the beginning of the season. He's living in this assisted living, which is basically it's a motel that they converted into an assisted living home, which is not a great place for him. And at the start of the season, we find out that Billy Bob Thornton, his Tommy, his mother passed away, and we get more backstory with his mom. And apparently, she was a really bad woman, treated him very badly, and which caused him to run away when he was 14. But yeah, so like basically most of the season is just wrapped around like all this drama with the characters, wrapped around stuff that's going on with the company. So like the big overarching thing with the company is they find out there's this they had this offshore rig out in the Gulf, which they were drilling with getting natural gas from. But the problem was one of the hurricanes, I can't remember which one, it got damaged in one of the hurricanes. And so they think that they could probably get it back up and running to look for gas, natural gas. But the problem is, there's only like a 10% chance that it'll work. But Demi Moore's like, no, I want to do it anyway, even though it would have been easier for them to just have like the insurance, to settle a lawsuit with the insurance company and all this other stuff. But none of that happens. But yeah, I mean, it's from a from a storytelling perspective. I mean, I will say, well, it's not as good as the first season, um, but it's decent enough that you're able to hold your interest with some stuff. Obviously the character drama is what's really driving the show, so it does have that soap opera feel to it. Um,
Right.
and
Which, if you vibe with the characters and you're interested in them, then that's going to definitely make it a better show for you.
yeah, indeed, yeah. And I will say where I thought was really interesting is the dynamic. I would say the adversarial dynamic between Billy Bob Thornton and Andy Garcia, that was kind of on the surface through most of the season. But I have a feeling, like, I don't know if the show got picked up for a third season or not. I'm guessing it did, because it is a very popular show. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out in the third season. But yeah, I mean, if you've stuck with the show like with the first season, you'll probably want to see what happens in season two. You may like it, you might not. I don't know. But Arcos says, he said the writing is very similar in Tulsa King, but that one is a comedy, so I can forgive it a bit. I only watch it because it's Stallone. Yeah, I think DB, you watched a little bit of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched the first season of it. My overall issue with it was a very I'm not going to call it unfair, but just like it's a preference thing. I kind of thought that it was Stallone once again, kind of refusing to play a villainous character or like a morally complex character.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
so I didn't necessarily, because like it turned out that like what he went to the pen for was just very, he was completely in the right for it.
oh, mm,
Um, I haven't watched season two yet. I may at some point, just because I did like it well enough. And yeah, Stallone is definitely the highlight of that one.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're like me, and you either worked in the oil industry, you had family who worked in the oil industry. I mean, this show's pretty interesting from that standpoint. But I mean, if you don't know anything about it and you really don't care about it, I completely understand as to why you wouldn't find the show interesting at all.
Yeah, I said this when we did our first episode reaction back in the day, that I give some credit to Sheridan for highlighting parts of the country and businesses that don't usually get attention from Hollywood.
Yeah,
So it just being about a blue collar life is just kind of refreshing in its own right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think I've said what I need to say about Landman 2. But go check it out if you're interested.
Indeed.